Hello everyone, my name is Aastha. I welcome you all to our classes for IEO for class 9th. This is a 24th class wherein we will be doing the topic of reading comprehension. For reading comprehension, I will be giving you a few guidelines and tips, and then we will jump to the questions. And as and when we do the questions, I will be explaining how to solve the passage or the poem or otherwise. Alright, so let's get started.
So first of all, let's start with understanding what exactly is comprehension. Now, comprehension means the ability to understand what you listen or what you read. It is an exercise which aims at improving or testing one's ability to understand a language. Now, comprehension is nothing but your simple ability to understand what you have listened to or what you are read. Now, जो भी आप सुन रहे हैं या फिर पढ़ रहे हैं, in this case we will be doing a reading comprehension. तो आप जो भी पढ़ रहे हैं उसको आपको जितना आपको समझ आया है, जितना आपको comprehend हुआ है, that is basically comprehension. And this exercise, ये जो comprehension की exercise है, how does it help? It aims at improving or testing one's ability to understand a language. Now, जो भी आप read कर रहे हैं, English, that is in English language. So, this will help in testing, first of all, and also improving. Because as I have told you time and again that you should involve English in your life. मतलब आपको इंग्लिश अगर आप बोलना शुरू कर देंगे, पढ़ना शुरू कर देंगे, लिखना शुरू कर देंगे, then these grammar topics जो हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं, they will come so naturally to you, and you won't really have to memorize the rules or anything. You will just have to understand. You will just have to read and write and speak and listen to, and everything will come to you very naturally. Alright, so जो comprehension की जो exercise है, this is just your ability to understand what you have, what you listen or what you read, and this will overall help in overall improvement and testing of your understanding of the English language. Alright. Now we have understood what comprehension is, and now we will move on towards कि जो facets होते हैं अलग-अलग comprehension में वो क्या-क्या होंगे. First of all, now you will be given, just a minute, yes. So first of all, you will be given either any passage or any paragraph or a poem. Right, you will be given any of these, either a passage or one paragraph or a poem. Poem is the poetry, paragraph makes single paragraph, a passage which involving a number of paragraphs. Right, and then these paragraphs, second point, these paragraphs, they show the idea or mood concerning various issues and the solutions that the author provides. ये जो paragraphs होंगे इसमें एक central idea होगा, एक central mood होगा, जिसमें अलग-अलग तरीके के जो issues हैं, उनके जो solutions हैं, they will be provided by the author. Alright. ये जैसे-जैसे हम comprehension करेंगे वैसे-वैसे आपको समझ आएगा when we will be doing the examples. And third thing, your main task will be to answer the questions asked from the passage, which means what you will have to do is कि जो आपने paragraph या passage या poem पढ़ा है, उसका जो आपने second point के हिसाब से जो आपने idea, mood, issues, solutions जो भी आपने पढ़े हैं, उसमें से आपने जो भी understand किया है, उसको आप apply कहाँ करेंगे? Apply करेंगे जो questions होंगे. The main task will be to answer the questions asked from the passage. Alright. So this will be your overall approach, your overall strategy for solving the comprehension. Okay, now here we are talking about the requisite skills. Requisite skills का मतलब होता है जो basic skills हमें चाहिए for understanding, for understanding and for doing the reading comprehension. First is the logical ability. Logical ability कैसे कि जो भी situation हो रही है, जो भी sentences, जो भी आपको paragraph दिया है, जो भी आइडिया थीम बताया है या कोई इशू बताया है, उसको लॉजिक के हिसाब से आपको उसकी क्रोनोलॉजी समझना एंड उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन जो है वो लॉजिकली करना. Similarly, second is the ability to infer. The ability to infer. Infer मतलब एक inference draw करना. जैसे अगर आपको जो भी सिचुएशन दी है, जो भी स्टोरी दी है या पोम दी है, उसमें से आप कोई कंक्लूजन क्या ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. Alright. Similarly, third will be the analytical ability. Now, analytical ability होती है basically किसी भी इशू की, किसी भी सिनेरियो की, हम उसका जो भी उसमें पॉजिटिव था या जो भी उसमें नेगेटिव था, एक उसकी क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस करना. तो we need the analytical ability. Right. Then we have reasoning ability. Reasoning, logic and reasoning, these abilities, these skills, they go hand in hand. कि आप लॉजिक लगा पाओगे तभी आप उसके रीजंस अंडरस्टैंड कर पाएंगे और उसके रीजंस इन्फर कर पाएंगे. Alright. Then another one is the ability to understand the main motive or the idea of the author. कि जो कॉम्प्रिहेंशन है, जो पैसेज, पैराग्राफ या पोम है, उसमें मेन आइडिया, मेन मोटिव क्या है ऑथर का. Alright. Similarly, we have reading speed. Now, suppose if you are given a 10-line paragraph and if you take 10 minutes only to read that paragraph, then your reading speed is very slow, which means कि आप questions time पे खत्म नहीं कर पाएंगे. Alright, so ये comprehension जो होता है ये आपकी reading speed भी test करता है. Similarly, vocabulary part. vocabulary में हमने शुरू में क्या किया था, हमने 3 चीजें समझी थी. Synonyms, Antonyms and homophones. Plus क्या क्या आएगा इसमें vocabulary में, और इसमें और भी आएंगी चीजें which will be spellings. ठीक है, spellings, and then this will also include our one word substitution. Right, now vocabulary में बहुत सारी चीजें आती हैं. हमने पढ़ा spellings आ गए, one word substitution आ गया, homophones आ गया, synonyms आ गया, antonyms आ गया. So you see, now vocabulary is not just कि आपको word meanings पता हो, but vocabulary में हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि हमने हमारे लिए proverbs and idioms are also some sort of vocabulary only. क्योंकि ये आपकी जो इंग्लिश के वेरियस वर्ड्स हैं, वेरियस फ्रेजेस हैं, उसी की जो आपकी नॉलेज होती है, जो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है, उसी को हम सिंपली वोकैबुलरी कहते हैं. तो बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स आपके टेस्ट होते हैं रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में ही. ऑलराइट, सो these were the overall skills which are required and the skills जो हमारी टेस्ट भी होंगी किस चीज में, रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में. Alright, so now let's move on. Alright, so here I have given you a few tips. Now, a few tips to understand and to go about the reading comprehension. Now, first important thing is to read the passage as fast as possible. Now, why am I saying that we should read the passage as fast as possible? It is because now it's such a long passage that will be given. बाकी क्वेश्चंस भी क्या होता है, सपोज सिनोनिम्स निकालना है, आपने आपको सिनोनिम दिया एंड द वर्ड इज हैप्पी, you quickly read the four options, you decide which is the synonym of happy and you answer that. But in the passage में क्या होता है, जब तक आप पूरा पैसेज नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो आप उसका एक भी क्वेश्चन आंसर नहीं कर पाएंगे. You have to read the complete passage for answering the questions. So it is very important to read the passage as fast as possible. और एक पैसेज का एक क्वेश्चन तो नहीं होता, एक पैसेज में there will be I think 3 to 4 questions at least, and so एक पैसेज के हिसाब से you will be solving 4 to 5 questions. So you have to be very careful and you have to read the passage as fast as possible so that आप उसे जल्दी से पढ़ें, जल्दी से समझें और questions कर पाएं solve. And the second thing is get involved with the paragraph to understand it. Get involved with the paragraph. अब यहाँ get involved with the paragraph में क्यों बोल रही हूँ, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Get involved with the paragraph means कि जो भी हम थीम पढ़ रहे हैं ना, जो भी हम क्या कहते हैं, जो भी पैसेज का सेंट्रल आइडिया है, सेंट्रल मूड है या फिर जो भी इशू है, तो हम उसके साथ इन्वॉल्व हो जाओ. मतलब यू नो ट्राई स्टार्ट टू इमेजिन कि आपके साथ ही वो पैराग्राफ हो रहा है या फिर जो भी स्टोरी है, यू आर इन दैट पैराग्राफ. क्योंकि उससे आप ये जब इन्वॉल्व हो जाओगे तो आप उसमें अपनी लॉजिक भी लगाने लग जाओगे, आप उसमें अपना रीजनिंग भी लगाने लग जाओगे. ऑलराइट, उसको एनालाइज भी करना शुरू कर दोगे कि ये पॉजिटिव है, ये नेगेटिव है. तो इसीलिए कहते हैं गेट इन्वॉल्व विद द पैराग्राफ. जैसे मैं आपसे कहती हूँ कि यू शुड इन्वॉल्व इंग्लिश इन योर लाइफ, उस तरीके से गेटिंग इन्वॉल्व विद द पैराग्राफ. ऑलराइट, नाउ द थर्ड थिंग इज underline the important lines or parts of the passage to answer the questions. Underline the important parts or lines to answer the questions. It will also help to understand the main idea of the passage or the tone or the mood of the author. Now जो important parts हैं, जैसे किसी चीज़ का कोई benefit है, या फिर किसी चीज़ की कोई लिमिटेशन है या फिर कोई टर्निंग पॉइंट है, जो भी आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगे यू शुड अंडरलाइन दैट. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप पूरा पैसेज ही अंडरलाइन कर दो, जो भी आपको इम्पोर्टेंट लगे वो वर्ड अंडरलाइन कर दिया बस, या फिर कोई लाइन इम्पोर्टेंट लगी उसे अंडरलाइन कर दिया, उसको स्टार मार्क कर दिया, उस तरीके से. So this what will this do? It will also help to understand the main idea. जो सेंट्रल थीम होगा ना पैसेज का, that this will help you in understanding that, and the tone or the mood of the author as well. So ये जो आप underline करोगे कि उसमें the author is angry or the author is sad or they're happy, they're trying to tell you something, और tone मतलब जैसे किस सेंस में वो आपको कहना चाह रहे हैं, कि आपसे वो कोई अपील कर रहे हैं या कोई इंस्पायर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं किसी चीज़ के लिए, या एनालाइज करने के लिए मोटिवेट कर रहे हैं. तो जो इम्पोर्टेंट वर्ड्स से आपको दिस विल हेल्प यू इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट. ऑलराइट, सो दीज वर दी क्विक फ्यू ओवरऑल टिप्स जिसमें आपको पैसेज जल्दी पढ़ना है. जल्दी का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप बिल्कुल समझो ही ना. as fast as possible का मतलब ये भी है कि आपको जो आपकी स्पीड जिसमें आपको समझ आए उतना फास्ट, as fast as possible. ये नहीं कि सबसे तेज पढ़ लिया पर आंसर गलत दे दिया, and that will be of no use, right? And second is getting involved with the paragraph to understand it. आप उसे फील करेंगे, आप इसे एक्सप्रेस करेंगे, इन्वॉल्व हो जाएंगे, तो आपको अच्छे से समझ आएगा, अच्छे से लॉजिक लगा पाएंगे आप. Then underline the important lines or parts of the passage to answer the questions, and it will also help to understand the main idea, the central idea, or the tone and or the mood of the author. Alright, so these were the few quick overall tips. Now let's move on to the next slide. Alright, so now is the time for our quiz. We shall be starting with the quiz now, and in the quiz हम किस format में लेंगे कि पहले हम एक रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन की स्लाइड आएगी जिसमें हम रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन पढ़ेंगे. मैं आपको समझाऊंगी कि रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में क्या है. उसके बाद फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड ऑनवर्ड्स उसी रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के जितने भी क्वेश्चंस हैं वो पर क्वेश्चन यू विल गेट 1 मिनट, जैसे ही हमारे बाकी क्वेश्चंस में होता है. रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में एडिशनल बस ये है कि हर रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन को आई विल फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू कम्प्लीटली. उसमें अगर कोई नए वर्ड मीनिंग्स हो या कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो, उसकी एनालिसिस हो, तो वी विल डू दैट इन द फर्स्ट स्लाइड, एंड देन क्वेश्चंस के लिए दिस विल बी फॉलोड बाय द सिमिलर एक्सरसाइज जो पहले होती आई है. ऑलराइट, लेट्स स्टार्ट. Alright, so for the quiz what we will be doing is, now every question you will be given 1 minute. 1 minute means 60 seconds. Why am I giving you 1 minute? Because you see your question paper of IEO, it has about 50 questions, and so you can imagine that you get more or less a minute to answer the questions. Now this 1 minute is the maximum that you should be taking for answering the question. Now suppose there could be two three categories of students. First category is, suppose you answer the question within that 1 minute. So I would request you to fast forward the video and skip right to the answer. You should not be wasting your time. Alright. Now the other students who are not able to answer the question in 1 minute, what you do, you don't skip to the answer. You pause the video and you write down your answer. Alright, it is very important to answer each and every question because there is no negative marking. Here you see, for every incorrect answer, no points, because there is no negative marking in IEO, so it is important that you attempt all the questions. Now for a question of which you are not sure about the answer, now even here and even in the exam, if you are not sure about the answer and you maybe think that B option might be correct or C option might be correct, so you should in that case play your luck and play your mind and make a guess and still give an answer, because it is a win-win situation. Either you will get the marks for that question or you will get a 0, right? But if you don't attempt that question at all, then you are anyway getting a 0 in that, right? So it is good to attempt those questions, and even if you don't know all the answers, try to understand and take a guess. Okay, so this is for every correct answer 10 points. This is just for your own little game where you can try to maintain a notepad. So here you write the name of the chapter and then the question, and then if it is correct you can give yourself 10 points. If it is not correct, you mark it here. So it is important to see these questions. The ones which you mark incorrect, it is important to go back to them later and then see where you did the mistake. Alright, this is just for your reference. For every correct answer, you can give yourself 10 points. Alright, now let's start. Alright, so now we start off with the questions on reading comprehension. How we are going to do is, first we'll read the passage together, understand its meaning briefly, do its brief summary, and then we'll move on to the questions one by one, okay? So here we have the first passage. Let's read this. It says, perseverance is about as important to achievement as gasoline is to driving the car. Sure, there will be times when you feel like you're spinning your wheels, but you'll always get out of the rut with genuine perseverance. Without it, you won't even be able to start your engine. Okay. Now here, this passage is probably about the importance of perseverance. Okay, let's read. We're talking about how important perseverance is, comparing it to as important, gas is for driving a car. Without gas, you can't drive a car, right? So without perseverance, there is no achievement. It says, sure, there will be times when you feel like, you have to give up, like you're spinning your wheels, but you'll get out of it if you have genuine perseverance. Then it says, the opposite of perseverance is procrastination. Perseverance means you never quit. Procrastination usually means you never get started, although the inability to finish something is also a form of procrastination. So here, talking about the opposite of perseverance, which is procrastination, which means you never get started. And also, another meaning of procrastination, it is also the inability to finish something. That is also a form of procrastination. Then, ask people why they procrastinate, and you will often hear something like, I'm a perfectionist. Everything has to be just right before I can get down to work. No distractions, not too much noise, no telephone calls interrupting me. And of course, I have to be feeling well physically too. I can't work when I have a headache. So here, this last paragraph talks about the excuses that people give as to why they are procrastinating. Okay, that I'm a perfectionist. They're just waiting for the right time. We say people who are waiting for the right time, that right time never really comes. So you have to make the time right instead, right? So like people say, I can't get down to work, distractions, noise, etc. So there is not going to be any right time. You just have to make the time right, right? So perseverance, procrastination, and the excuses. Excuses given for procrastination. Now let's move on to its questions. Okay, here, perseverance. Perseverance, what is perseverance? You never try, you never stop trying, you never win, or none of these. Perseverance, we studied. Perseverance means you never quit. So the answer is B. You never stop trying. Okay, next up we have perseverance is important for success because it is a form of gasoline, it is the engine of success, or it keeps you motivated or gives you rest. Now, perseverance is important for success. Why? Because it keeps you motivated. You never stop trying, keeps you motivated, all right? Here we have what is the opposite of perseverance: procrastination, postponement, putting off, or all of these. Here, although we read opposite of perseverance is procrastination, but you see postponement, putting off, all of these mean the same thing. So the correct answer is D, all of these. What is the meaning of procrastination? Procrastination, they're asking. Procrastination usually means you never get started. So you never get started, never quit, never accept defeat, or always win. Correct answer is A. You never get started. Okay, give any one excuse why do people procrastinate. Here the options are unable to complete work, don't have time, perfectionists and need things in order, always have a headache. So here we have asked people why they procrastinate, and you will often hear something like I'm a perfectionist, everything has to be just right, etc, etc. So see, they are perfectionists and need things in order. Okay, now here we have the second passage. This one says, one day a farmer's donkey fell down into a well. Okay, The animal cried piteously for hours and the farmer tried to figure out what to do. So there's this farmer's donkey which fell into a well, and this animal, this donkey, was crying so much, and the farmer was trying to figure out what to do now. Then finally he decided, since the animal was old and the well needed to be covered up anyway, it just wasn't worth it to retrieve the donkey. So the farmer invited all his neighbors to come over and help him. They all grabbed shovels and began to shovel dirt into the well. All the other farm animals were very upset about this because the donkey was their friend, but they discovered there was nothing they could do to help him. Okay, so you see what happens here. First of all, this donkey fell into the well, and although the farmer was trying to figure out what to do, but then he eventually decided that this animal, this donkey is anyway very old, and it is going to be no use for me now because this animal is old. And also this well, needs to be covered up anyway. So it is not going to be worth my efforts to try to, save the donkey. So the farmer came up with a strategy of inviting these neighbors, and all of them, they grabbed their shovels and began to put dirt into the well. Alright, now all these other farm animals who were the friends of the donkey, they were upset, but being animals, even they couldn't do anything. So then what happened? At first, when the donkey realized what was happening, he cried horribly. Then, to everyone's amazement, it quieted down. A few shovel loads later, the farmer finally looked down the wall and was astonished at what he saw. With every shovel of dirt that hit his back, the donkey was doing something amazing. He would shake it off and take a step on the dirt as it piled up. As the farmer's neighbor continued to shovel dirt on top of the animal, he would shake it off and take a step up. Pretty soon, everyone was amazed as the donkey stepped over the edge of the well and trotted off. So here you see, although initially it seemed like they're going to just let the donkey die, but what happened? At first, even the donkey started crying. He cried horribly, but to everyone's amazement, suddenly he became quiet, because what started happening was, as these neighbors and villagers, they were shoveling the dirt inside. So what the donkey would do, he would just shake that dirt off and make it a pile up and then climb on the dirt, so that this donkey starting raising itself towards the opening of the well. And eventually everyone was amazed as the donkey stepped over the edge of the well and trotted off. So here the moral of the story is, life is going to shovel dirt on you, all kinds of dirt. But each trouble can be a stepping stone. What happens to you isn't nearly as important as how you react to it. We can get out of the deepest wells just by not giving up. So here we say, life is going to shovel dirt on you, all kinds of dirt, which means life is going to give you all sorts of problems and issues. But what is important is not what happens, not the problems, but the more important aspect is your reaction to it, and how you take these problems of stones and make them a stepping stone and walk towards your success. Alright, so it says we can get out of the deepest wells just by not giving up. Alright, so it was a small little story with a good moral as well. Now let's move on to its questions. Okay, here the farmer decided to cover up the well with the donkey in it because he wanted to make a tomb over the donkey's dead body. Or he disliked the donkey, or the donkey was old and was not worth getting retrieved, or he could not see him in pain. Okay, now here we no, finally he decided since the animal was old and well needed to be covered anyway, it just wasn't worth it to retrieve the donkey. So the answer is, the donkey was old and was not worth her getting retrieved. C. Okay, here we have the other farm animals were upset because the donkey was their friend, or they were unable to do anything, or both A and B, or D. None of the above. Okay, so here all the other farm animals were very upset about this because the donkey was their friend, but they discovered there was nothing they could do to help him. So they were upset because the donkey was their friend and they were unable to do anything. So both A and B. Okay, here, what amazing scene did the farmer see? The donkey quieted down, the donkey cried horribly, or the donkey was taking a step up on the dirt as it piled up. Here we know the donkey was taking a step up on the dirt as it piled up. So, that was the amazing scene that the farmer saw, and also the other villagers and animals as well. Okay, here what can be learned from the story? A, life always shovels dirt on us, or each trouble can prove to be a stepping stone, or we should fall into the deepest well to succeed in life, or none of the above? Oh, this is pretty easy. Each trouble can prove to be a stepping stone. Okay, each trouble here can be a stepping stone. Okay, here which word in the story means to get it back? Grabbed, retrieved, trotted off, or quieted down. Now to get something back is retrieve. It's a verb, retrieving something, getting it back. Okay, now we have the next passage. Let's read this one quickly. One of the mysteries and beauties of Sikkim is the Shongu Lake, high above the ground. At approximately 12,000 feet up in the mountains is this clean and serene lake. So here we're talking about this Shongu Lake. I think my pronunciation is correct. Hundreds of colorful Maruti vans, these seem to be the favorite cars here, flit up and down the mountains carrying excited tourists. Okay, so here there's a lot of tourism going on in this Shongu Lake in these colorful Maruti vans. So Shongu Lake is absolutely clean and fresh. No one is allowed to enter it. No boating nor throwing anything. Okay. There is a small temple of Shiva. Okay, Shiva is known as Shongu here, hence the name of the lake. So now we know how the name of the lake has been kept. Then we have the China border is just about 30 yards away, but one is forbidden to take pictures of that site. Nor is one allowed to go there. Army personnel man the border, and they also keep track of the cars and people who go up and down the mountains. Okay. So although it's a beautiful, calm, serene place, but it has certain restrictions also. That no one is allowed to enter it, no boating, no throwing, and even forbidden to take pictures of the other side. There's these army personnel who keep track of the people who are going up and down. Alright. Then a thick mist suddenly flows at any time, hence tourists are asked to go down the plains before noon, especially as winter sets in, as it can be quite dangerous. The twists and turns on the mountain sides are quite sharp. So again, we have certain safety concerns as well, that it can be quite dangerous in winter because thick mist might flow and people might not be able to see things clearly. And these twists and turns on the mountains are also very sharp, so this area might be prone to accidents in that time. So the tourists are asked to go down to the plains before noon, especially in winter. Then we have the main animal here is the yak, a long-haired placid animal, more a cousin of the horse and the donkey, and yak rides are the favorite pastime for children. Alright, yak, I'm talking about the yak, seems like a cousin of horse and donkey, and how the yak rides are a favorite pastime for children over here. Okay, pretty simple, easy to understand passage. Let's move on to its questions. So here, Shango Lake, the pride of Sikkim, is a clean lake because it is 12,000 feet up in the mountains. No human activity is allowed in this lake. Lord Shiva resides here, or D, none of the above. Now, of course, it's a clean and serene lake. Why? Because it is here, clean and fresh. No one is allowed to enter it. No human activity is allowed. So B. Okay, photography is forbidden there because it is a sacred place. So there's a thick mist surrounding the area. The Chinese border is just 30 yards away and therefore secrecy is maintained, or it is difficult due to uneven terrain. Okay, now here you see China border is just about 30 yards away. But one is forbidden to take pictures of that side, nor is one allowed to go there. So we're maintaining secrecy. See, the China border is just 30 yards away and therefore secrecy is maintained. That's why photography is forbidden. Here the visit to the lake can prove to be dangerous because of A. Thick mist and sharp turns, vicinity of the China border, or height, or none of the above. Okay, so here we read about this thick mist which can flow at any time, and this can be quite dangerous. The twists and turns are also very sharp. So why the visit to the lake can prove dangerous? Because of A. Thick mist and sharp turns. Okay, next question. The children are fond of yaks because yaks are placid animals. Children like yak rides.
or yaks are the cousin of the horse. Yaks are the main animal in that area. Okay, now yak rides are the favorite pastime for children, and that's why the children are fond of yaks. So B, children like yak rides. Then we have army personnel man the border. What is the meaning of man here? Okay, manning the border, a person, an army man, be in charge of, or a strong man. The correct answer when they say army personnel man the border, which means they are in charge of the border. We read now that they keep track of the cars and people who go up and down, so they are in charge over there. So they are manning it. Alright, here we have another passage. Let's read. This one says etiquette. Etiquette is the unwritten code that governs social behavior. Etiquette reflects formulas of conduct in which society or tradition have invested. Western etiquette tells people to greet friends and acquaintances with warmth and respect, refrain from insults and curiosity, offer hospitality equally to guests, wear clothing suited to the occasion, talk properly, eat neatly and quietly, avoid disturbing others, follow the rules of an organization, arrive promptly when expected, comfort the bereaved and respond to invitations promptly. Okay, so here we are talking about etiquettes. What are etiquettes? The unwritten codes governing social behavior. They taught certain formulas of conduct. So what do etiquettes tell us? They have a certain list how to greet people and acquaintances. Like when you meet people, you meet them with warmth. That's etiquette. You don't insult them. Okay, that's etiquette. When guests come to your house, Atiti Devo Bhava, you offer them hospitality. You treat them as God. That's etiquette. You wear clothes that are suitable to the occasion. All right. Now suppose if you are going to a school function, there is a certain code of dressing that you should follow. There is that's etiquette. You should wear formal clothing. Okay, talk properly, and when you're eating, don't eat with your mouth open. Okay, chew food properly. Take small bites, and manners like these are all etiquettes. You shouldn't disturb others, etc. So now the next paragraph. Violation of etiquette can cause public disgrace, and in private do what? Private hurt individual feelings, create misunderstandings or real grief and pain. Okay, then we say some people feel etiquette to be an unnecessary restriction of freedom. Okay, now here we talked about how the violation of etiquettes can cause problems, and here now we're talking about how some people have this opinion that etiquettes are an unnecessary restriction of freedom of personal expression. However, wearing pajamas to a wedding in a cathedral may be an expression of the guest's freedom, but may also cause the bride and groom to suspect that the guest is expressing amusement or disparagement toward them and their wedding. So here you see we're given an example of this violation of etiquette. Suppose you're going to someone's wedding in a cathedral or whatever places, and you wear pajamas to their wedding. So you see this may be an expression of the guest's freedom. It's your freedom, choose wear whatever you like, but this bride and groom, they may suspect that the guest is expressing amusement and they're sort of disrespecting them and the wedding. Okay, next we have etiquette is dependent on culture. What is excellent etiquette in one society may shock in another. Okay, now this is also one issue that what may seem like a good etiquette in one culture may seem like a cultural shock. May seem like a cultural shock in another. Like how? You see, etiquette can vary widely between different cultures and tradition in cultures and nations. Now we're probably given an example. In China, a person who takes the last item of food from a common plate without offering it to others at the table is seen as a glutton. Whilst in most European cultures, he is expected to eat all the food given to them as a compliment to the cooking. So here you see, it's just a direct contradiction of etiquettes. In China, when there's a certain food item left, the last piece of something is left, and if you eat it without asking the other people if they want it or not, then that seems disrespectful, and this person is seen like a glutton. But in European cultures, what happens is, whenever you're given something, whatever amount, whatever portion you're given, you are expected to eat all of it without leaving even a bit, because that is an etiquette which shows your respect towards the host. All right. Then we have, in some societies, it is considered disgusting to eat with the left hand, and left-handed individuals are sometimes forced to use the right hand. Okay, another example here it is. Then we say, recently internet has created netiquette. Netiquette is what? Which governs the drafting of email, rules for participating in online forums, and so on. Okay, so this was a small little passage about etiquette. Now, this is written in Bhuvan's journal, March 31, 2007. Now let's move on to its questions. Alright, now we have choose the most appropriate title. Choose the most appropriate title for this passage. The options are etiquettes and manners, B, Western etiquette, C, etiquette and culture, or D, importance of etiquette. Now here, although you can choose any title that you like, but you should probably choose the one which is expressing the central theme of the passage, which is C, etiquette and culture. Right? C. Okay, here we have social behavior dash by the unwritten code etiquette. Decides, is governed, shows, or is show. Now social behavior is governed by the unwritten code etiquette. Here we have no etiquette is the unwritten code that governs social behavior. So in passive voice this will be social behavior is governed by the unwritten code etiquette. Okay. So the etiquette should not be broken because it may cause public disgrace, it may cause shock, or it may hurt feelings, or all of the above. Okay, so here we have violation of etiquette can cause public disgrace, private hurt feelings, create misunderstandings, or cause real grief and pain. So it should not be broken because it may cause all of the above. Okay, here etiquette and culture are interdependent, dependence, excellent or widely different. Now this is pretty obvious from what we have read that etiquette and culture are interdependent. Because certain etiquette, certain mannerisms, they are drawn from the various cultures. Like we read about the Chinese culture, what is etiquette in Chinese culture, then what is etiquette in the European culture, right? Okay, next up, which word in the passage means insult? Desire, gluten, disparagement, or hospitality? Okay, here you remember, where was it? So suspect that the guest is expressing amusement or disparagement. Disparagement means insult. Like an insult to their wedding. Okay. Okay, here we have, read the following poem carefully, answer the questions that follow. Alright, we have a poem over here. That's what she said, or he. Let's see. I wish you, friend, the finest thing that I can wish for you, not health, nor wealth, nor luck, but just a spirit of bamboo. Bend with the wind and thus survive, though storms may flatten you. Weep not at fate, but springs erect as bamboo thickets do. Though knives of hate may cut away your hopes of dreams come true, from roots of faith put out your shoots and grow your dreams anew. Wealth may be lost and health may fade, yet you will be wise and true if you can bend and you can grow with spirit of bamboo. This is pretty interesting. Let's see. Here, this is sort of a wish, sort of an advice that one friend is giving to another. You know, that's what she said or he. That here, what this person is wishing for their friend is not health, nor wealth, nor luck, but just a spirit of bamboo. Appreciating the spirit of bamboo and telling this person that, you know, what your life motto and what your life, the way of living should be like a bamboo. Okay, the spirit of bamboo. Because how is the spirit of bamboo? Whenever the wind, you know, when there are problems, it bends with it and also survives. There may be storms which may try to flatten you, which may try to discourage you. So that time, weep not at fate. You shouldn't cry, but spring erect as bamboo thickets do. When spring comes, you know, bamboo starts erect. So, you know, you should also stand with your head held high. Here, the knives of hate may cut away your hopes of dream come true. Now, there might be knives of hate. There may be hatred coming your way, but you know, your hopes and dreams, your dreams should remain anew. Here also we say the wealth may be lost, health may also deteriorate, but yet what will happen? You will be wise and true when, if you can bend and you can grow with the spirit of bamboo. Alright, pretty small, sweet poem. Now we'll move on to its questions. Okay, here we have the poet wishes for his friend A, the agility of the bamboo, the growing height of the bamboo, the spirit of the bamboo, or the slenderness of the bamboo. This is pretty easy. I wish you, friend, what? A spirit of bamboo. The answer is C. Okay, here we have the poet asks his friend to weep over his fate, break down in a storm, agitate over his hardship, or stand erect at all times. Here, they're asking friend to, but spring erect as bamboo thickets do, So stand erect at all times. D. Then next up we have having the qualities of a bamboo will make his friend wise and true, weak and sick, wealthy and healthy, or lucky and happy. So here having the qualities of bamboo will make his friend wise and true. If you can bend and you can grow with the spirit of a bamboo. So wise and true. A. Okay, the spirit of bamboo is joyous, sad, angry, or restless. Pretty easy. The spirit of bamboo is joyous. That's what they're trying to say over here, right? Okay, here we have, but spring erect as bamboo thickets do is an example of simile, alteration, metaphor, or repetition. Now here, this is an example of simile. Now simile is when you're drawing a comparison using the word here as. Okay, you are drawing comparison here where? Telling the person to spring erect, which means stand tall with the head high like bamboo thickets. So you're using as or like, comparative words. So that's simile. Alteration, when you have when you have words which are near to each other and they have the beginning with the same sound. Okay, that's alteration. Metaphor, again, when you're drawing a comparison and not using these words like as and like. Repetition, when there's repetition of phrases. Okay. Okay, next up we have fade. Fade means dry out, go away, disappear or weaken. Fade means something that disappears. The bamboo symbolizes the qualities of a which person, dash person, bad person, flexible person, mischievous person or tall person. The bamboo symbolizes the quality of a flexible person. Why flexible? Because you see the person here is trying to say that you should bend with the wind and storms will not flatten you, etc. So symbolizing the qualities of a flexible person. Okay. Okay, next up we have ring out wild bells. Okay, let's just read the poem. Ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out wild bells and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out the grief that saps the mind, for those that here we see no more. Ring out the fear of rich and poor, ring in redress to all mankind. Ring out a slowly dying cause in ancient forms of party strife. Ring in the nobler modes of life with sweeter manners, purer laws. Okay, so here the poet is trying to bring out hope and telling us to, letting go, ringing out something and then ringing in something else in. Like here it talks about ringing in the old and ring in the new. Ring out the false, ring in the truth. Okay. Like here ring out the grief that that takes over your mind and ring in what? Redress to all mankind. And here ring out what? What are the dying causes, the slowly dying cause, the party strife, and ring in what? Nobler modes of life. Alright. Pretty easy poem talking about how we should ring out all the negativity and ring in all the positivity. Okay. Now let's move to its questions. Okay, here we have the association with these lines is Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year or summer. Now here you see, here, the year is dying in the night, ring out wild bells and let him die. So the association is New Year. So the poet wants the new year to bring happiness and joy, sweet manners and purer laws, or truth, or all of the above. So here you see, first of all, it says that, ring out this year, let this year die. And then we say, ring out the false, ring in the true. Then ring in redress to all mankind. Then we also say, ring in nobler modes of life, sweeter manner, purer laws. So the poet wants the new year to bring all of the above: happiness and joy, sweet manners and purer laws, and truth. Okay, here we have the poet prays that the grief should go that makes all sad, that dries out the mind, or that breaks the heart, or that doesn't allow anyone to be free of it. Now here you see the grief that, that saps the mind. So, poet makes the grief should go that makes all sad. Okay, here we have with the passing of the year, the reasons of dash should also vanish. Struggle, mutual distress, party strife. Okay, now as we say here, ring out a slowly dying cause in ancient forms of party strife. So all the reasons of party strife, all these causes should also vanish. See. Fewer days, an ongoing quarrel with bad feelings on each side, or a game that creates feeling of comfort, a waterway that is similar to a deep river, or a home with separate living quarters for servant. Now feud here we had, bring out the feud of rich and poor. This is an ongoing quarrel with bad feelings on each side. Okay. Okay, here we have redress in the poem. Redress in the poem means to get dressed again, to change clothes or clothing worn by an older person, or making up for wrong or injustice, or D, playing holiday music. Now redress, where did we have redress? Bring in redress to all mankind, which means make up for all the wrong or injustice done to all mankind. Okay. Okay, here we have the word which means the opposite of modern is happy, noble, strife, or ancient. The word which means the opposite of modern is ancient. The antonym of modern is ancient. Okay. Modern is something that's new, ancient is something that's old. Okay, here the poet is making a prayer, request, speech, and none of these. Now here this is sort of a request, or we can say actually a prayer that the poet is making, okay? A prayer to all mankind, to everyone, that ring out wild bells to the sky, ring out the wild bells, let him die. Okay, all these, it's a prayer, we can say. A more favorable option is prayer over request, okay? It's making a prayer. Okay, so yes, this was the last question. With this, we finish off the questions on comprehension. All right. So
That's all for our classes on the comprehension. For the other class on comprehension, I hope you have understood how to go about it. So make sure you practice these comprehensions, because there is no other way to really learn about comprehension. You cannot predict which kind of comprehension you're going to get, right? So keep revising and keep learning. I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching.